That is true. Friendship has ended with
Damn.
Raze Jing.
This is getting a mention.
Yeah,
Nice.
we do start things off already quick into the game with DRX on the attack. A little bit of rubble,
okay,
also a little bit of
PRX.
as well.
Try and go aggro over towards A, wait for a reaction towards B, and they get a reaction.
There's a lot of PRX members here.
Divide, you're a lunatic.
They are going to successfully win that one.
I know, big old flash as well,
Chill.
Komodo, and that's going to be now freeing, trying to hang back.
Yeah, but look at what Flashback's
He
able
nearly
to do.
gave him a
Finds some
trade
space
back.
Over at the side of rubble. Meanwhile,
Oh
Freeing's
boy.
going to dodge out that drone too. So does that give you a false sense of security? Repositions around the map currently for PRX, more towards the C side of
some
things.
nice
and with
damage
that damage
done.
done in towards the breakable door. That's gotta let you know that you gotta get away from this A side, or rather
Something,
get over
you don't need
towards
to
it.
do this. Guys, you don't need to do this.
All quick and heavy-handed as well, you know. Trade
Well, at least they're
protocols
adding
right
their
there
madness
outside
in.
of
I'll
the
tell you
dark
what,
cover on
this is
towards
a
C.
super doable
That leaves
2v4.
a
Look at the
numbers
HPs,
disadvantage for
13, 20,
DRX,
70,
even though
40.
Flashback has gotten into
Very,
towards the
very
back
doable.
of A side, especially towards drop. Actually, into a deep position like that, do you reckon that they might be able to do something against PRX?
It's a 2 versus 4. You've got to get a little bit aggressive in this one to try and find some advantage or equalization, which is why Flashback goes up there to try and find the kills. Good for one, but spotting info on the rest means that for Marco, this has to be a big clutch.
Has done it before. Starts out with a bit of a paranoia to flush them into his own smoke. Look at that. Right click through. And now just 2 players on the other end. Ooh, a good little
man.
flick, but Jing
I felt
hits his
like
own as
they both
well
hit really
on this
sick
new
shots.
role. You know, maybe not quite the utility, but the sharpshooting definitely
They
still
both really hit
true
nice
and
shots
sound on Jing.
Oh, one. in
Yeah,
the
I'm
end
so
for
lost
PRX.
pistol-wise.
They started off well
I
with a
think
lot of those
it's-
duels as well.
I think it's one
DRX
for
just
each
dodging a bit of
map,
that key
right? I'm pretty sure
utility.
it's 3-2.
Maybe if they doubled down over towards the C
sure
side,
it's
little
3-2 for the
endeavor that we do
pistols.
see there from Bane, it could have gone a little different way. But all the information spotted on out. Divide getting active nice and earlier on this Tejo roll as well.
Even the comps are like
We're talking about
one-time
these players,
gimmick
we're talking
comps
about new
that are being
roles
used at
coming
the
into
moment.
Stage 1. Are we going to see
I
these
don't
sort
think
of
DRX
agents
will get another
align
win with
these
that
players?
Haven
Look,
comp,
maybe 3 different
personally.
agents today for Flashback. I mean, I'm looking towards him on the Yoru to really try and find some space.
Will
on
PRX
this
win
map
again with the
to be a
Icebox
pivotal
comp? Probably.
member to
Looks hard to
propel
play
DRX
against.
in. But in a round such as this one, where Hyunmin has gone for a buy up on towards an outlaw, you have to see him do something.
That's right. Oh, it's something that Forsaken has done before.
How many
though.
people can get one shot
Right,
here?
the
Wait, this
outlaw
is legit.
just to try to work against your
They go for the
opponent's
hero
light
outlaw.
shields. But you're absolutely right.
Bane
right
drops
as
him the
well. You know,
outlaw, he
Flashback
buys
we
heavy
do see
armor.
Cypher now
Every
onto
single
the
person from
Yoru, so
PRX can
DRX,
get one shot.
Same composition, but some of the players onto different roles. We'll see how that all settles in as they kind of jiggle on towards rubble.
There you go.
Yeah, and there's one.
Shut out from Hyunmin on towards Forsaken. So
Now there's a
Bane's
gun
money
down.
So far, working a treat. But you've got this time
reaction
to,
to
be
losing
from the
A,
toxic screen, and that's just
they
going to
drone
block out
B.
operator shots as well, right? This is going to be one of the powerful things that PRX
Flashback
can try and
TP's
play
over,
with. When that toxic
gets the,
screen is up, when it's
gets the
down, they can
Guardian.
sneak operators behind the line.
Fair and true enough, but at the same time, you know, even with that little bit of a fall, PRX continues to drone
Well, they got
outwards.
eco'd.
So I was thinking maybe something continues to push on through from pillars, but yes, C is completely open now.
Yeah, but they're going to still try and go towards A, and that is where majority of these members of PRX are. 30 seconds to go. That's a
Mako just calls them
marathon to
back.
go over towards this C side, but they're going to start to do that. At least get enough time to try and get the plant and establish it. They've picked up the weapons that are on the floor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Komodo. I mean, it might be a marathon, but even as you just trigger that door a little bit, it keeps PRX on the A side.
Yeah.
PRX are thinking, we've got the guns.
Did
we
they
need
go to
work
try
around
retake
this.
with a judge?
So they are still trying to stack towards this A side, but unbeknownst to them, now it's a 3-on-4. Now it's weapons in the hands of DRX.
And this is one of those weird scenarios as well as PRX.
They're saving.
Do just consider the save.
Yeah,
at the
they're
moment
actually
because
saving.
it's lesser, numbers to
Well,
go for this retake. Where 3 guns are now.
I
in
guess you
possession
don't
that
give
have been
them these
noted over
guns.
at DRX's
They still
side.
have to
And you've
rebuy
got
armor.
Really no big entryway
But
in towards the
3K
retake too.
for
You got
everyone,
drones,
they picked
you
up
got,
2
what,
guns,
something
it's
with a
really
judge.
nice.
Yeah, you could try and set you up with a stun or a flash, and Jin can maybe try and get in, or Devaya can, but it just is really difficult.
It's
So
not the worst
really
call
well
ever.
done from
Like they're
DRX to
not
get
they're not
this,
winning the
this
retake.
lighter eco round could come out from them, and on the flip side for PRX in this scenario, the anti-eco, yeah, a little bit lopsided.
Not the way you want to start.
It's a rough start. It's a really, really rough start.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Nothing else that I could say. It sucks for PRX, but just a masterclass at how DRX was able to work this around, right? using Forsaken's own play against him. The
Yeah,
outlaw.
I mean,
Sudden
it's weird because
takes the player
PRX,
down,
they were fine to
and
give up A and
also
not
for,
fight for the
was it
gun,
Mako
which
around
is
C now?
okay.
Like, slow creeped up
Then I
and
think if they
right
want to
click
get
that
info on
brings
C and they
free
just
gun
droned
that
all
way.
the B,
But
they have to
finding the
go
right
open
timing,
the door
right?
and
I
do
gotta
it.
say, Marco's lurks
with both.
on Icebox as well as Haven have been absolutely impeccable. So it's great to see that he's still carrying that around on this map where if you're playing towards the C site, right, you're not having a proper sentinel as for PRX. So you kind of do want to go for a little bit of these peaks
The
here
Outlaw?
and
No, the
there.
Outlaw
And
buy was
unfortunately, you're gonna have
incredible.
to maybe reel that in a little bit now
Every
for
single
Wi-Fi.
person from PRX had light armor.
Maybe just don't hug the wall
And
too
honestly,
much.
again,
All
every
these
single
things to
person
think
has
about,
light
but
armor.
At the same time, you know, we've mentioned some of these plays. You do have the Waylay on the hands of Forsaken, and he's gonna dive all the way through. Doesn't spot anything out. Does have the smoke to support him, but at the same time, DRX reads that, and it's a quick flood into the B site. That was a mouthful. Now, on the other side of the smoke, the Prowler sent through. Bane's completely
Bane is
reads it,
just
and he's able to spray
Bane
and
is just
gun
locking
down
that down
every
as they
single
try
player
push
from
through a
PRX.
small
The
choke
only
point
one
through a
left.
smoke.
Mind Freak spotted up at the boom, but it's gonna be the spray from him, and this time,
Okay,
DRX
very, very
will be
nicely
quick
done
work
from
after round.
DRX.
Yep, good
All
from
people
them.
surviving.
I do like
The
little
money
cheeky
is
bait and switch over at
outrageous
that dark
already.
cover in the break floor window,
Ray,
right?
thank you so
When
much for the
Prowler
22
goes
months.
over
Appreciate the
towards it and
prime.
bites the player towards the right. Player towards the left is the one to swing at immediately to catch him off guard. Well done from Bane, however, though, to just get some individual.
Every single time he's tapping the spike in between.
So that's going to be available for round number 4 after a bit of a topsy-turvy start for these guys over on PRX. But now you're going to go into the standard 1-1-3 for them that they've got the weaponry. Jing's still down on towards a bit of a
Flashback.
here, but
Still 3 people
more
you can one-shot.
importantly, this is the round for PRX trying to equalize.
Probably the most value an Outlaw's
And they find
getting
the
as he
opening
goes down.
Yeah,
Of course,
quick
it's
in
my
with the
fault for even
Outlaw,
thinking it,
taken
apparently.
away from Flashback, so just a bit of information. The smoke's out to control A as well, but with that, DRX are keeping some of the PRX players closer towards the A site. Now they start to extend their legs closer towards C.
Information secured as well, that there's still players lurking around rubble, and you kind of have to give this maybe a little bit of respect. Freeing using both of these cages too. You still have Jing playing on top of rubble. You know, generally it'll be cleared out from some utility from Bane, but they're looking to renegotiate the situation here at the moment. Spreading around towards front of pillars. Forsaken's just playing with fire at the moment, willing his head to fall off.
Or at least just
big
helping
flash.
to conceal Jing's
Big
positioning.
flash, big stun.
So in with that, you know, forcing DRX to trade util for util. The Paranoia gets sent through as well. Refract recalled by Forsaken in towards a safer spot. But here we go, a Nightfall out from Bane. And at the same time, he'll be just lurking, hovering around the B site. He does spot one player out, and that's going to be the Vi that falls.
This is
and then
nice,
DRX to try to regress in towards
go
the
up
A
there.
position, but
They
that's
were
where
not
they get
expecting
gunned
that
down.
pause.
The PRX defensive setup is sound.
Yeah, the Nightfall as well actually hits
Okay, they're
Jing,
gonna have to
so
do
a little
that.
bit of a misread
What,
on the
2 more times in a
positions
row
of
to break the
PRX
money?
members there, I feel like, for DRX. Marco just shrouded stepping straight in towards his death at the moment. No one else was able to really get a great trade to find any sort of sense of a round opportunity
Omen
there.
TP?
So well done for PRX.
Yeah.
At the end. These are the sort of rounds that you
Because
want
the
to see
fade ult
from
hit,
them on these
so they knew he
defensive
was
sides if
there,
you're,
and then I think
looking
he's
to
just
see some
hoping that
good
his
Valorant
I think he's
in
just
this
taking the
composition
bullet
at
for his
moment,
teammates.
and how a Waylay will be incorporated as well. You see the early aggression towards rubble. You know, usually you see these Breach Taeho combos currently in the meta, but for a Waylay, you can get the saturate out as well, or just individually go for the shots. This time, however, Quack,
Wait, what?
by himself, it's not going to work
They
out.
missed their fade
Yeah,
eye.
should be a
Forsaken
little
goes
more
to shoot
support.
it through the wall.
Unfortunately, the timing on the
Loses the
refract's
duel
not
because of it.
quite in hand. PRX, though, with a bit of a, what is this, a 3-1-1 split, they're pushing all the way out C. Sure, that could work out, but they're relegating A over onto DRX.
Yeah, they're going to have a quick retake here towards the A side if they wanted, or rather a quick flank, and now the jig is up. They know, freeing down for the count. Something here, though,
Yeah, a lot of
has
this is
gone
on how
unnoticed
Mako wants to
for
play
the
it.
time.
It's so nice from Mako. But honestly, he should just go
Still
back
just a-
rubble here.
Try to keep himself
They're
hidden
going to
out
think that there's
towards
pressure on
stairs. His
rubble
team
so that he has to be focusing on
will
behind, but
regroup.
doesn't even have to worry about
That's
it.
shaky. That actually allowed something to get in towards the dark cover and buy some more time for the rest of the team.
Mako
to start to
should
go
win the
here for
round.
the retake.
Oh, okay. Flashback does get back in towards Tree. Hyunmin, though,
Nice
still holding
shots.
the position. Armageddon sent through by Divide, but it's not going to help out all too much. Not quite as DRX
Damn, Hyunmin's playing
continues to
really well,
hold.
though.
It's just the choke points out around Heaven. The shots out from
gotta
DRX
start looking at the
still
money for
being
PRX,
able to
win one,
push
lose one.
PRX back where they come from.
Yeah, everybody knew what angle they needed to hold there
Few
when the
people
plane
can't
was
buy.
down for DRX too. You know, no one faltering at that moment too. So really heads up play from them. not going too aggressive when they realize the priority is just going to be protecting that spike, right? They know
It's
where
the eye
the
for
retakes
pushing
are going to be
rubble.
coming from, essentially stairs or from
Yeah,
heaven, and
I
they
don't know
just
if he needs to try shoot it though.
Really well done. On a round that actually could have been quite damaging for them, had something found some right timing in towards a cutoff from the tree explosion. Now in towards the eco round to come out from PRX, and they're going to go for a potential dual fight up through C, up through mid.
Doing a thing.
Off with just the pistols. I mean,
Oh,
trying to surprise DRX at the very least. Something we'll be able to find something with the sheriff that he has. Still though, DRX instantly recognized that and
kind of nice for second double dashes, gets the gun.
This is where things could get problematic if we see
Break
some
the trips, they know
individual
they're coming
heroics
behind.
come out from Forsaken.
Don't know if that's gonna come in hand though. He does have the Vandal. One away from the convergent paths.
Oh, that's another gun to pick up here.
You're
You're gonna have to react right and push something.
Tree being trapped open and goes in with a paranoia as well. But oh, look at that counter paranoia coming out from Mako, as well as Bane to hold the position. Mako swings back around on the other end as well, and that's 2 kills. DRX will not go down without a fight.
Yeah, Bane's been pretty good in how he's navigating a couple of these multi-frags here as well, and just helping out with this
Bane, yeah, he's doing well.
beginning of the round. It's exactly what you want from a fade on this map where you've opted for
He was
that
a little
instead
bit
of
lucky,
the
I feel like.
breach, which is
Yeah, like
starting
honestly,
to,
probably should have
become
gone down
more
here.
common of a pick as well. It was just, again, these eco rounds to come on through. Don't see too much from PRX apart from the opening kills there. Everyone a little bit, you know, untradeable. But this is the important thing. These are the rounds where you can play with. I mentioned the Viper's Toxic Serene a little bit earlier on over towards B and A side of the map. Usually can play good operator plays behind it, but
wrecked by the TP. This is nice from DRX. It's a good change of pace from them as well. Realize that they're getting the op-out money ways. Decide to go super fast on this one, TP. No way. That's devastating as well. Looking like DRX are going to put up good numbers on attack here.
Keep going. Flashback off to another kill up around Waterfall, and that's just Devi left alone and cold. The Prowler just seeking his position as well. I mean, this guy's got to hang back.
Yeah, that's just the cascading stumble on the back of that one, unfortunately. When you lose Forsaken and Mindfreak straight out,
probably.
You got some awkward shots from the rest of the team that need to dig deep to try and get you back in towards this round. It's just too quick to try and figure out there, unfortunately, for PRX.
Bit of a pleasure to watch Mako play, to be honest. He's playing great.
Quite the ways away from your own ultimate too, so the priority is going to be to hold the gun, see what damage you can do in towards the next round, and conversely, I mean, I'm looking at DRX here, Quack, and I'm seeing them swimming in cash at the moment. So they are really good for a couple of gun rounds, and that poses a bit of a problem for PRX if they're not able to figure out the beginning stages of these rounds to get themselves an opening frag and reset, like what they were doing over on Icebox, for example.
I am quite fond of Scrooge McDuck, so that's exactly what DRX are looking like right now.
Something should something just had to hit the shot.
Come out from some DRX members as well.
Honestly, the round was kind of lost
before
the summon chill came in anyway.
So a conversation to be had for PRX. What's been working for them so far, right? Having this Waylay, again, it plays very differently to the common meta that we're starting to see. And even then, DRX aren't playing the common meta technically that we're seeing, right? They do have options where they can go for like C's and nade combos. But we're not really seeing that too much from them at the moment because there's been not enough pressure from PRX at the chokes to do that.
Yeah, they've been trying to work off some early Waylay plays, but so far just getting punished straight up by DRX, especially with how they've been spreading all across, whether it's C or A, just continuing to keep PRX at bay.
Well, let's see if this timeout is going to be very impactful for the side.
Probably need to go aggro A, to be honest. They're giving them too much space. I would ignore the round that just happened
exactly what they
and
need
go
to do
aggro A.
in their layering and their progressions around the map. Big old stack from PRX over towards this A side of things.
Bit of a 1-4.
But I'd also... I know it sounds mad. Honestly, I would go aggro A here and I would Omen ult
on the other side as well, though, Komodo, so
towards C. Because as soon as they realize you're gonna go aggro, they're just gonna send it. Like I would probably try double up heaven here.
He heads on right back in. Flashback just clearing everything out, so it definitely is going to be heading towards a bit more of a retake setup from PRX.
Yep. And it should as well. You've got the convergent pass, but I'm really liking this from Flashback. Getting up and dirty
Why
with
is
the
the judge? Dude, it's a solid pause for a judge.
Yeah, forces you to just spend a bit of utility or something, anything possible, just to reclaim a bit more space.
Important duel coming up.
That's what they're looking for right now. Hence, a couple
And
players
very nice from freeing. Just such an off angle that something wasn't really expecting it.
Marks their backs. DRX continues to hold them further off, and now it's going to be Mako blocking off Waterfall as well. Even with the ultimates, PRX can't quite get in position until Forsaken finds this one frag.
Oh,
off
it's a
the
big
other side
play.
of the doors.
Big play from Mako.
Flashback has snuck on through as well. A bit of a shot with the Sheriff. Showstopper in at the hands of Hyunmin, and now Jing comes back in. Time
No
not
time.
on PRX's side, and Flashback just plays it safe, hangs away from the shadows just to hold on to that rifle. PRX kind of in dire straits, Komodo.
Yeah, quite late on that rotation through towards the A site and the flank as well, and unfortunately the fact that the kill goes over towards
he saves the gun.
freeing, and he's able to just use the hat to get all the information. Things go from bad to worse. A 5 versus 3, looking a little bit sticky towards the tailor end of that, but again, you got to just think that the spike is ticking away way too far at the end of it, and the investment of those ults at the end there kind of for naught, bar saving the gun, as you mentioned, for Jing. And you look at what they're going in towards this new round with. Lots of light shields, a Guardian in the mix as well. They need to cut a couple of corners to be able to get in towards a round such as this.
Oh boy, they changed up the fade eye.
To come on out to
Dude, that's nice from DRX, chat. We gotta give them that. They've been using the fade eye that's for Rubble the whole time, and then after the timeout, knowing the PRX, like from the round before, went aggro A, right? So they're probably gonna go aggro A again. They do a different smoke, different pathing, different fade eye to actually get people deeper, instead of the one that they've been doing. When the whole timeout was probably to break the eye and then try and go aggro Rubble. It was awesome. It's just like them coming out on top from the timeout. It's too much from something.
That smoke, it just blocks off so much and allows for Hyunmin to walk away with the kill. If that pit falls, that's going to be trouble for the C side as well. So Mindfreak just still trying to hover around it. But as soon as that
crossfire
kill goes
because of
off,
this, kind of
PRX starts to get a read that DRX is rotating off to the only other part of the map, and that's going to be the B site. As that happens, Mako into a bit of an off angle, does force a bit of a trade.
This was really nice to watch from DRX though.
Freeing finds the positioning right back.
This is very, very cool.
PRX.
And another lone member forced to capitulate for PRX now. See if he can take another weapon in towards the next round. It really stumbles in the beginning, doesn't it? When Forsaken loses his life first, it's just really quick to come out for the rest of DRX in how they get the rest of that round. A couple of trades to come on through, overwhelming force in towards A, you have freeing, sleuth in towards the B site, recognize no one's there, and that's a quick call to just say, hey guys, come over here, we got a free site, let's just play the round to the numbers, and well now they'll be winning out this half no matter what.
And that's just been the pattern for like the past 3 or 4 rounds. Constantly see Forsaken trying to initiate something, possibly, you know, alongside ARC, but he keeps getting gunned down.
And by himself as well is a really interesting thing too, because a lot of the successes when you look towards a map like Lotus is combining a lot of your utility for challenges, right? If you're going to the bread and butter, you're looking for utils over towards Rubble, right? Where you're getting stuns, you're getting mollies, you're looking for the contest, you're generally getting a Shrouded Step Omen or even a raise to get towards top of Rubble. And we've seen that toyed with like once.
Okay.
DRX are kind of given a little bit of free reign over towards his A site.
How many do they need on defense?
Like are do what we're hoping.
I mean, I kind of think they need the rest.
Stack back in. Still 1-4 splits on both ends, but once again, DRX.
Dude, the change of the fade eye is wrecking them as well.
A little how do you do on towards another member.
You reckon they need 4?
Position revealed.
Okay, Mindfreak just hovering up towards Mound. You do have something ready with, well, maybe the Rolling Thunder on the other end of B, but not too much at work for information on the ends of PRX. The clone instantly sent out, and that throws something off. Forsaken though, trying to work around Baby Door.
I feel like Hyunmin is playing incredible though.
2 players remaining. That's Mindfreak and Jing trying to work along opposite ends of the map.
Yeah. Individually, I mean, if they're able to find another kill or 2 apiece, that would give them the shift to the rounds.
Hyunmin. And that will be extra information for DRX as well. I mean, this is what they get to do. I think the spike this early on. Mindfreak, though, snuck in towards the back. Instantly alerts 2 players from DRX. A bit of a high-low, and it's too much for him to handle.
He doesn't lose jewels at the moment.
Yeah. All that's left is just Jing.
Again, not enough time. He's got to seal the deal on this one, unfortunately, and head for the hills to take the gun in towards the next round.
Another round where
really
PRX doesn't have money. Everyone's sitting around 3,000.
Yeah, the second time that he's done this so far in the map. Walking towards Marco's crosshairs as well, though. He's not even going to be able to hold that gun for the next round.
Jing's fine to die there. He has 4,000.
No, not at all. And now you're finally going to be forced into a little bit of an eco round too, right? Or you force and try and hope for a win here, and you're 8-4 in the half is best effort. I'm looking towards the util again over at this A rubble, and it just feels like they're trying to do the util to command respect, and they're not doing anything on the back of it. You're caught in no man's land trying to
PRX can't fight A. They're just losing A fight.
He's been really sensational for a couple of these opening
they wanted to do something super aggro.
Utility, for example, or you're getting freeings util.
Double timeout.
The camera and the cages to provide a little bit of forward momentum too.
Yeah, I wonder if they want to like see. Problem is if they wanted to call like a C
seeing what weaknesses
from like B and C,
early round in the map itself right now. I just think
it's too obvious after the timeout, so they might have to do it next round.
It really is kind of that show of force to try to keep
Immortal
DRX away,
Fish with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Trying to do. They are able to just walk in and disrespect whatever PRX is trying to set up, and with that, it's often DRX finding that opening pick. So that's a problem that needs to be solved, hence the timeout now being called. Both timeouts being used, being spent in this first half. What do you reckon PRX are going to try to fix this time?
Well, they have to do it on the back of whatever has just been discussed here, and then what they can find in a switch-up, really, because you're taking the timeout here. You really are playing on the back of we're winning these next 2 rounds. We're getting the pistol round and maybe a bonus, and then we're back in towards the map. We've done it before, technically.
Yeah, well, PRX want to go aggro over
this
towards.
Feels a little bit different now to the last few maps.
Different in terms of the rounds as well.
Aggro over towards A, but this time we're starting from double door.
Safer positions being held
Yeah, teams have been doing this as a lot safer than being like in this area.
Something into
okay, they got aggro A, and the pressure of the timeout meant the DRX weren't ready to just actually like push and hit C, because even we thought that they might just go for like a crunch.
Drone as well though, and that allows for Forsaken to push out. They're looking to try to find Flashback possibly, but even with the aftershock, Flashback
did insanely good to just tuck in the whole time, and I just saw his teammates just beeline to go help him. Yeah, DRX are just playing together.
Yep, there's a gap that he can just play around in that pillar position as well, and then he's even got teammates close by to bail him out or trade him out, right? So
they need to do the B push when they have A control.
These contingency plans at the moment, and when you do shift into something, he gets one, you trade him out, it's 9-2, so timeout. You wish
DRX just played it well, really. Flashback just played it perfect.
You really are forced to wonder, right? You start things off on a map like Lotus, you need to get that early space, but when everything that you're trying, everything that you're attempting
DRX? No, DRX are grinders, dude. DRX put a lot of time in.
Even with a timeout, I just imagine maybe just use the halftime pause to get your heads back screwed on.
Yeah, I mean, you just really need to get one foot in front of the other at the moment, because you're not even treading water. You're really drowning, essentially, as PRX here. You do fashion yourself something of a buy-in towards this last round at the moment.
Freeing
finds Jing.
Freeing just disrespected Smoke, popped the cage open, and then as the TP came in, just popped the Omen. Freeing's doing a really good job of listening to what is happening on A and feeding back the information to DRX.
Starting things off with
earlier, he told them they went aggro A, what util they used, and that they could change up and go aggro A, change their fade I. And then this round before, he listens to their pathing, realizes they go heavy door, and then just walks out with the cage.
A second kill, another one from Freeing.
So very, very impressive from DRX. They did good here.
Just a sheriff. DRX will close this first half with a 10-2.
I swear, sometimes Quack stuns in this game are very cosmetic, because Hyunmin is rolling thundered, and he's just finding a waylay, dashing on in, and taking off their head. So yeah, really heads up from beginning to the end of this round as well. Even from Freeing, right? Opening things up with the kill, and
dude,
then
just as he lands,
from a lurk in through towards the big site here. It feels like Lotus's game plan of PRX is just on the back of DRX's hand here. They just look at that and they know what's going on.
It's just incredible how Hyunmin is still able to land that shot against Forsaken, no matter. So there it is now, halftime. I really have to wonder, even on round 11, PRX, that was the one off of Alex's timeout. They had a bit of a set plan. They were trying to pinch onto Flashback. But even with all of those utilities being sent through, maybe it's a bit of execution, maybe it's a bit of marksmanship, but they weren't able to execute that strat
they need an info sentinel.
Well, that's just not, you know, a good mental spot to be in.
It's also all of the
problem was the
DRX
did so much good stuff that it looked worse than it actually was for PRX for sure.
Well. So they're figuring out in these rounds what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and just adjusting things within the midst
I'm impressed
of the
with
round,
how much DRX adjusted.
They're just adjusting quite nicely. And again, you got to remember, pistol round is the round that PRX found. So it wasn't even that they got
I'm
the
never
two
going to
rounds
say
of stun
that.
rounds, right? They were in a
I would
sort of
like I would always be using an info sentinel.
That's just really, really tough.
But there's teams that use comps very similar to this.
PRX to a T, you know, like you mentioned, with the strengths and the weaknesses, they know how to work against this composition.
Like, don't G2 pretty much just use this
spot,
this comp and it's a
pull
Yoru?
yourself back
I
into
think.
this game, especially after this little halftime break. Can PRX bring us to an even scoreline, or will DRX close
Does
it
the
out
Yoru
quick?
add a lot for sure?
Yeah, well, you got to remember, it all starts in a pistol round, and it can certainly steam from there.
Okay, 3. Oh, dude, it's worse when you remember that they won a pistol. 3-2 for PRX pistol wins.
DRX playing someone default. The smokes outside of A,
Um,
and PRX instantly
No,
into
wait.
Z.
Dashed
Forsaken trying
in,
to throw off some crosshairs,
hit him on the
with
head,
that refract and the
and
dash
then
as
got
well.
out of there.
It allows for Divide to actually sneak on through. Forsaken double backing in off of that little smoke. And that's 3 kills already
That
for
was so
PRX.
crazy.
Yeah, nicely done to open up this seaside as well. And I feel a little bit hard done by for the DRX members there, because they're just on the ledges.
Double
and
pistol.
It moves them up just ever so slightly, and they have to readjust their aim, and they're not able to in the middle of the fight. But this is looking to be a sensational pistol to come out from PRX. It's going to be flawless at the end of it for them as well. So, I mean, you're talking about, you know, as mundane as it is, how to get back into a map. The pistol round is what you need.
It really is.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they
mundane
end-
or not,
they
that
end with a
is the very
4-2
situation
pistol
we
and a
have in our
2-0 on
hands,
this map.
especially for all the PRX fans out there. And we know for sure that there are quite the number of PRX fans as well. You know, 60 to 40 were the predicted odds earlier on, as mentioned on the desk. But still, DRX, they are very close to map and series point. Starting things off now, paint shells.
Okay, they're allowed a death.
And this is what I'm talking about. Util combos to come on through as well, but what affords you a difference is
But
waylaying
is that
up,
actually
get in front
good
of
with
it,
the
and then
wall?
when you do
Can
get a
you're
little
not
bit
just getting
overwhelmed,
seen
you
from
can
here.
refract out. Meanwhile, the rest of your team, they get in front of this utility because it expires as well, and they can just start to scale up and play to the better weaponry here, Quack.
Yeah, a bit of
No way,
positions
it can't be.
spotted out as well,
I
thanks
cannot
to the
believe that
early
Hyunmin gets a kill.
round. But what? Oh my goodness, the classics!
Okay.
They're still finding the shots. PRX at least getting to stabilize with rifles of their own, marking
Mind
the back
freak.
as well. That
Be good
almost
to,
got out of hand, Komodo.
Take
Yeah,
control
sometimes
of
you
the
gotta wonder a
chaos.
PRX giving DRX a bit of a way in, a bit of an option here, but no. It was, you know, one of those times where you go for a
Dude,
little
when
bit
it
of
looks
the
like that
stack,
with classic
and you
as
just
well,
have to contend with the
doesn't
utility.
give you
and the
it doesn't
shenanigans
give you
that
much
are
hope for
there. So,
PRX
well done
there.
for PRX. They do not drop
They get a
the
bucky
secondary
out. Looks like
round
we're going
up
over
in the
towards
first
B.
half,
I
despite
will say,
the
is
Buffets
it
getting the,
is it some
damage in this
sorry,
one,
is
and
it
now
Forsaken
you're
getting the
shifting towards
bucky
a round
out?
where it's
Like, the
bonus
waylay
fighting,
stuff you can
right?
do on
But
attack with
again,
Bucky's
you
kinda
kinda gotta win
legit.
this one as PRX. So what differences are you actually
So
looking
they might
to
actually
do?
have a good
What
strat
are you
here.
looking to play on towards the strengths of? And it's got to be Forsaken to get dirty in towards
Go
these fights
close
again,
and
playing
then-
on towards
yeah,
a
yeah.
shotgun
It's
here,
a nice
missing the
idea,
first
though.
shot, though. Can't refract out, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
honestly, it's a
PRX,
nice idea.
With the way, the style in which they're playing, a lot
Just
of it
out
relies
over
on the
towards here, you
entries.
have
When
smoke
it
to
looks a
cover
little
it.
shaky like
You're
that,
pretty much going to
just gotta
one-shot
imagine
everyone
something
here.
psychological.
There's the fact that he
Nonetheless,
tanked a
though, with
flash,
that
I'm pretty
chaos
sure, and then we
being,
went to him.
ensued, they do get the B site, they do get the spike down, and with that, Mind Freak watching the back as well.
Can be a little bit claustrophobic staying in the B site, though. So
The stun, yeah, the stun
is
needs it. Like, the strat could be a bit better, but the idea is...
They might be able to find
The overall
that
idea
stack
isn't
up
bad.
towards Free. Mind Freak, as I mentioned, has control over pillars, and with that as well, a possible angle into the spike.
Okay, honestly might just get half here. Salvo's coming late, they do get it half, this is going to get a little bit
At
wild.
least the salvos come back in from Jing, or from Divide at least.
Fade Eyes
But still
owning
that
them.
DRX continues to fly forward.
Whoa,
Ooh,
what
just
HP is
trying
that,
to keep him at
7?
bay. Something
One bullet,
low HP,
no?
but has to land the headshot. Free.
Yeah, he only had
Crouches
one bullet
underneath
left.
The crosshairs
Nuts,
and
man.
gets the job done. That's gonna be the defuse.
Yeah,
DRX
and shout
up
out to
11.
Hyunmin as well, because he was
Yeah,
the
good work
person that
on at
managed to get
least
this
getting
half
it,
right before the chaos
defused
happened.
halfway when you see that snake
it
spike
Hyunmin? I
come
can't
on
even
in,
remember. It
and
might have been
misses
someone
its
else.
mark a little bit. I start to get a little bit worried, but Device sending in the salvos brings a little bit of time. Unfortunate at the end there for
Yeah,
PRX,
salvos
because the
were
gameplay
late,
actually,
Molly
despite
missed.
losing the first kill, it goes nicely, right? They got the space in towards the B, they get the plant, they take a little bit more forward space. The Haunt though, again, Bane, I keep saying, his utility has been so impactful with that Haunt and with the Prowlers as well in this map so far have been some really great for openings and for closings here.
Just utterly effective.
DRX win the round, only one person surviving, and they're 11-4 up, so they decide, honestly, we don't need to take any risks here. Full confidence in their buy v buys, and they just eco this for next.
They do retrieve the information that they need against PRX.
Even though DRX as well here, Quack, win the previous rounds, not afforded enough to go in with a full buy, so it's the Hyunmin show potentially.
It does give PRX a little bit of hope. They can then get their ults, they can then get some money. Wait, if you're gonna eco, why are you? If you're gonna eco and accept you've lost the round, why do you pop Razor?
Out from Hyunmin, so it's not gonna be able to fire that off into anything effective, possibly.
I'm not sure Hyunmin got the memo that they eco in this one.
Does it open a door up for PRX into a site?
Information on the little shoulder spot. Got a call for your teammates to start to get some rotations over, because these pistols, I mean, you need to be in close proximity with crossfires to do damage.
Oh, and with that, the flash and the execute now falling through. Forsaken though.
Oh my god, his frag's so heavy.
He's able to find 3, but Hyunmin finds his own as well. The Phantom picked up.
Hyunmin nearly did everything on his own. I mean, I guess he's like he's half the way to getting another ult, so can't be too mad at it. But he shouldn't be ulting there. I feel like PRX will take that.
One here as well. So if you can continue to go in with that, you're kind of ripe and ready for some good damage.
They did enough damage that if they win this,
right?
it's over.
Get it online. You've got the Convergent Pass as well. These are going to be good laneable items to get in towards the site or to hold off a potential retake. But it really does begin at the very beginning of a round as well.
I mean, the rounds just don't look.
That we're starting to see attempted.
The rounds just don't look convincing enough for me to have faith that PRX are going to do this.
Do the exact same thing. So for some pressure now over towards Flashback, it's a bit too much too. Recognizing the drone would leave him isolated. Unfortunately for freeing first.
That's lovely though. That's an open site.
PRX getting him towards this C site.
He didn't want to tank his. Didn't want to tank his teammates.
So possibly Spike now. Meanwhile, for DRX to reclaim a bit more space, they do have to watch out for B though, because something is lurking in the shadows.
Now you might say these ultimates used.
Didn't DRX have to save again?
To look a bit successful for DRX. A kill quickly might have been good for them, but just denied for now.
Maybe like fake that you're going in so they use a tail.
You can't get back in towards this one, unfortunately, with the time and recognizing all of the bodies here. If you were able to bait out an Armageddon or a Convergent Pass, I think
couple of wins for PRX, right? Round before, Razor out. This round here, like round before they got the Razor out, but they were low on money, right? 3 of them. But now, 5 people surviving, like they got their money good.
It's little with a capital L though, Komodo.
Correct, yeah. Just a little slightly.
I know. Even then, you know, as long as DRX gets
they're in the right spot to do it.
Be looking at a very effective.
But with how the rounds have gone, I'm not
confident. There could definitely just be one explosive round to come out from DRX, and if you're a PRX where you're losing a couple of members in the next couple of rounds,
maybe this is DRX just being like, guys,
nicely, it could get the 12th and then the 13th map is done. So you're going to try
let's
and
not give them
call
free
this a little
picks.
bit early as DRX here.
Let's make sure we don't waste our ults.
4 weapons as well, right? You lose one member, you call it. All right, we're going for a timeout. We're going to stop any momentum to start to be built up by PRX.
As well as to keep the guys locked in. DRX needing to stay focused all the way towards the end of the map. It is one away from that series point. But at the same time, you know, if they start to lose focus, that's where PRX gets to build it back up. And as we have seen, that previous round was instantly done when Freeing fell outside of C. So tiny things like that.
Yeah, it's quite the important one here as well. So it's good to see that there's you know, a lot of engagement in these cameras at the moment too. As I say that, it switches to what's looking like a little bit of silence.
Well, that's not true. You know, the camera's a little bit clipped. We can't see Termi, you know, wagging his tongue a little bit. So a little bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, you can definitely bet there is quite a bit of coach intervention. And we're just wondering what the change-up is going to be. Still very much
2 good ults for this round, though. You know if you win it, you force them down to an eco. Kinda. Money's a little bit better than I thought.
A and B, though.
Yeah, maybe you're looking to go back towards some Viper fundamentals for PRX in a round such as this as well, and up and down in that wall over towards A. If you're not seeing anything too forward from DRX there, but speaking of forward, PRX straight up through
pillars nice BC default.
So they've got some options
aggro B at the same time you do a drone over towards C.
They can always pivot back towards
problem
A
is
if
they use
want
their-
because of the lurk
oh.
that'll come in from
Oh.
Mindfreak, but you're ulting in towards this C side at the moment, spotting some information if you can. Oh, Refract's timing is actually out, so Forsaken is stuck here, has to hold it through as Hyunmin falls.
Yeah, he did throw out the stun.
What the hell?
Does
Some
find
nuts
Free, and
rounds.
there it is.
Fake
Into
over
the
towards
B-side
C,
as
get the
well,
rotate
and
going
as
out.
The ult does its job of throwing a wrench in the plans of how DRX wanted to operate across the
nice.
round. It's just Mako now. Spots out towards the back.
There's like
though,
quite a lot
lets
of layers
Forsaken
to it
go
as well.
on.
They had the luck. Oh,
Smoke back in.
oh.
Goes onto a
Gets
bit
scary
of a
when the
tap.
smoke goes out.
Lays around the
It's time
edge.
the molly
Snake
hits.
bite, not quite burning at his feet.
Yeah.
Goes for the reload though, and that's
Damn, yeah, they're really
second
like,
ult
hold
being
up.
baited out from PRX.
The ult
Mako,
is worth
I
because
think
it
he's
means
done
that the
his
smoke
job.
goes
Whether or
down.
not he wins the round, he's gotten effective utility away from PRX.
Oh, you'd
Now
have to
just looking for a possible kill or two, and there it is, the first one. Salvo
Yeah,
off,
he
and
had
he
to get
walks
on it
right
early.
into it.
Again, cool round from
unfortunately, there's a lot
PRX to
of
be honest
stalling
though.
power to come out
BC
from
default,
PRX,
3
but
people
those two
going over
members
towards
in
A.
the
You had one
Divine
luck over
Mindfreak
towards
staying
A.
alive.
You had drone that
Snake
cleared all
Bite
of C.
firstly,
Then you
Armageddon
have
as
the
well to
waylay
full time for
all with the
salvos,
fake, and I
so
think
it
we had
becomes
one
really
smoke in
difficult
as
a
well.
situation like
Yeah,
that.
maybe even double smoke, no, one smoke deep.
Forsaken though, you know, to find a C
And then when the
opener and
rotate
pull a bit
goes
of a
over
bait as
towards
well
C,
to
as in
remove
these
the
people were
members over
saying
at
here,
the
you
B
just
side
push
to
over
get
towards
the
B
lanes
with
in
the
there.
3
You do
that
like
faked
idea, but there's
B
still enough
pressure.
cooking for PRX
And you
to
open the door
make
to
a
make it
meal
look
here.
like the 3 have gone over towards C. That's nice.
Certainly very much
And
could
then,
be.
extra layer on top, you have
4 rounds
Mindfreak just
away
lurking
from
out towards
equalizing
A.
the score, as well as something back onto the Rolling Thunder. But as I say that, DRX has some ultimates of their own as well. Granted, not the most effective ones.
4 members, though, to take this rubble control at the moment. And Mindfreak, if he does lose his life, that's a Vandal that's going to be pilferable
a
at
great
the moment.
flash.
So, yeah, they're going to steal
Great
that one
flash,
away.
great
but
peek.
maybe not, actually, because there's an immediate presence back for PRX. So, now they have to try and win a round out of 4 versus 5 conversion. And if we look towards the previous maps in this series, how many times did they actually manage to do this over on Icebox, Quack?
Yeah, quite a bit, especially with DRX up on 16 first kills.
Yeah.
That said, though, it is a very different map. Similar composition possibly, but DRX pretty much have a lot of it under control now. Forsaken looks to pull the attention away.
Looks so
Unfortunately,
stupid.
instantly tapped
There's
down
been a
by
couple of
Mako.
times,
3
it's
players
only
remaining
2 at the
Komodo,
moment,
and they
where
look to flood into the
you have the
B
dash
side. They
in
might
with
get
no
the spike down, but
util.
look at
Well,
flashback
sometimes
in
there
with
was
the
util,
dimensional
there's a
drift,
breach ult. The
holding
other time I'm
on
thinking
to
about.
possibly
It takes so long to
Chloe.
get the
Doesn't
gun
have any
out
more
that
flashes.
just get it
He
one
got
tap.
all the information on the positions.
And that's exactly what he was looking for with his team.
Oh, dude, they used the ult
Rolling
into
Thunder
it.
from something, though, just kind of luring them into the site, but unfortunately, they don't
Yeah, it's a big
quite
win
get
for
stunned
DRX.
up by it. And with that, now Defy has to pull something out of the hat. He doesn't have utility anymore as well.
Yeah, I thought they
Just
killed the
sprays on
diffuser
through,
as
but
well.
Reloads to be damned. It's going to be freeing, sticking the defuse all the way in.
Alright, 5
DRX
chances.
have found series point.
And that's
5
the problem
chances.
for PRX now, that they don't have any more breathing room to make mistakes, and that's on the back of such a sensational first half.
And
that
DRX
comes
got
out
the,
from DRX. All it takes is these opening
they got
kills
the breach
and
out
then
of
an
them.
idea of how to remain, you know, present in this B side at the tail end of this round. That's why I got to give so much credit and recognition to Flashback. Dimensional drift, but not with the intention of popping out and getting a kill. You're spotting all of the information on where your opponents are repositioning to let your teammates fine-tune how they need to get on the defuse, get the remaining kills, and that's exactly what worked wonders for DRX. Now, 5
Straight up
rounds
C hat.
difference. You do have a bit of a build-up for PRX to go at another round here, of course, and they are looking to set themselves up for quite the quick C play. Ooh, that's a missed Poison Cloud high in the sky.
Okay, and quick and fast into the site at least, but look at this site. I mean, Forsaken couldn't see a single thing on his screen. Everything all blocked off. Now something on a bit of lurk, spotted out by Hyunmin as well. The site being reclaimed by
God,
DRX
man.
as Mako picks up the double. Looks to
The
hold
fade
position outside the
fade
door.
out into
In
the
with a
Omen ult.
showstopper as well.
Yeah, they absolutely wrecked them.
Unsuspecting Defy gets
Absolutely wrecked them. I mean,
blown up.
honestly,
Final
probably
score of the map,
PRX from what we saw had to win
13-7.
Haven.
Final score of the series, 2-1 in favor
DRX
of DRX.
Lotus is looking
Yeah,
nice.
the Pacific Princes from kickoff
And the Icebox
here,
doesn't look that bad, they
continuing
just
with
got-
some victory,
they just struggled
disregarding
against the
result
Newcom.
overseas in Masters, of course, Quack, but yeah, won't